Hey everyone, welcome to Cover Creations. My name is Gareth and this is my little corner of the internet, playing with my food. Now today, Christmas is getting near. Well, it's not. Contrary to what half of the adverts on TV are already saying, it's still not even Halloween. But I think when we're looking to cook for Christmas, sometimes we've got to do a few things a bit early. So today, after last year, when I produced a chutney for Christmas, I thought, let's do another one this year. I've got so many cool chutney recipes, and so I thought I'd just share this one with you. And now is about the time. If we're going to make it now, it's going to be ready perfectly in time for Christmas. So today we're going to run through my rhubarb and Bramley apple chutney. And this is a really simple one to make. So there's no sort of pre-cooking of it. Everything straight in the pan, straight on the heat, job done. So we're going to start off with our rhubarb. So you want 400 grams of rhubarb, which is about that much. And we're just going to cut this down nice and small. So you want like probably little, almost 2 centimetre chunks. The reason you want it small is you don't want huge large bits of rhubarb in there when you're actually eating the chutney. You don't want to like spoon it out and find out it's bigger than the cracker you put it on. So we're just going to chop these up nice and small. So yeah, we just split it down the middle with one this size. Just pop into little chunks, about that size. Oh yeah, about 2 centimetres. So there we go. That is finished. So like I said, we don't need to preheat anything for this one, so we can just shove this straight into whatever pan you're going to use. So that's my rhubarb. Now for some apple. So I'm going to use a Bramley apple for this. You want a really good size one, about 250 grams, be perfect for this. We're just going to give it a little peel. And again, chop it up, same sort of size, nice small little bits. There we go, that's my apple done. So that can go straight in there as well. You don't need anywhere near as much apple as you do rhubarb for this, just because we're going to use our next ingredient, which is cider vinegar. So we're going to use 400 ml of cider vinegar for this. The reason I'm going to put it in now is it's going to stop those apples kind of going slightly brown. So we can just pour that all over the top and give it a little poke down. Get them covered. And the acidity from that vinegar will just stop any of that kind of browning happening. Okay, so next, onions. Bit of an odd one when you think what we're going to put in here is mostly fruit, but you want that savoury element. Otherwise you're just basically making, I don't know, kind of vinegary fruit salad to go on it, which doesn't sound great, it probably tastes alright. So we just want 2 medium onions here, and we're just going to kind of dice them up really small, so no bigger than the kind of little sections of apple and rhubarb that you've got in there already. Okay, that's my onions done. So whack those in. So all nicely diced up. So you're not talking any bits, again, sort of like almost half a thumbnail size. Try not to get the skin in. So whack those in there. It's definitely building up. I might need to actually transfer this to a bigger pan, to be honest. We'll see how we go. So that's all there. Last of the kind of little extra kind of fruity ingredients, we're going to put in some sultanas. We've got 100 grams here. Just going to whack those in. I'll need to give this a bit of a mix up. Definitely going to need a bigger pan. There we go, as if like magic, bigger pan. So, I don't know why I always do it. I always try and make everything in the smaller pan as I can, for some reason. Might as well just use the big one. I've now just got to wash up 2 anyway, so it doesn't make much difference in the end. But anyway, we're going to add in some sweetness to this, because you're going to need that. Rhubarb will be really sharp. So we're going to add in 175 grams of light brown sugar. So we're just going to whack those in, like so. and it's building up. So now, and very lastly, we're going to add in that Christmas. So the very simple and very obvious ones for this. So we want some cinnamon. So we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, like so. We're going to add in some ground ginger, which goes really well. Brings a little bit of a kind of heat to it. So a teaspoon of ground ginger. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. It's got a real kind of Christmas feel to it. Teaspoon. And then 2 teaspoons of mustard seeds. So, there we go. I just love using these. They're just, once they're cooked down, especially in the vinegar, you just get this kind of like little bursts of flavour. It works so well. So last thing, which we always want to put in, is a good pinch of sea salt. So whack some of that in. Might give it to, just brings it all alive really. So that is it. That's all of our ingredients for our chutney. Massive amount of it as well, which is really surprising considering this is only making about 500 ml, but it will really reduce down, be delicious. So we just want to give that a quick brief stir. And there we go, all ready to go on the hole. Okay, so that's there, all ready to go. Just want to fire it up. Bring that up to a nice little simmer. We're going to leave it there for 35 minutes. Just going to come in, give it a stir every now and again, and you're going to start to smell those flavours really kind of permeate the kitchen. So if anyone is very anti-Christmas in your house, probably wait till they go out before you do this one, because it's definitely with that cinnamon and that nutmeg, there's no getting away from it. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'll catch you when it's time to show you the next bit. Okay, so that's now been going for 35 minutes. And I'll whack our lid off. And then we're going to leave that there. Just turn it up just a fraction. And get that kind of simmering away so it starts to reduce down to that kind of chutney consistency. Like I said, the smells are so good in here. I love it. So that's nice and simple. That's going to keep going. So now, if you're going to store this, you want to sterilise jars. Easiest way I do it, wash them in hot soapy water. And then whack them straight in an oven, 150 degrees for 15 minutes, and then just put the lids in boiling water for the same amount of time. That will sterilise your jars nicely. So once you get your lid off on that, it's a good time to just turn your oven on, get your jars ready. So I'm going to leave that for its next 15 to 20, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we are definitely done. That's got, it's really reduced down now. So you can sort of drag the spoon across the bottom and it just kind of oozes back. Absolutely perfect for me. And you'll notice with this one that everything's kind of really broken up. That's just how I like my chutney. I like to be able to sit there on Boxing Day. I better turn it off, otherwise it's going to overdo. But I love to sit there on Boxing Day, and get your ham sandwich and be able to actually spread it over the top. And so many chutneys that you'll buy will kind of have either large lumps in and loads of flavour, or be spreadable and no flavour. Bonus of doing it yourself, make it how you like. So you can make this super chunky if you want. Just 35 minutes would be all it will take to actually cook that rhubarb down. So you can just take the lid off early and reduce it down like that. So make it your way. I mean, I love it like this, but you might like nice little bits of chunks of rhubarb and apple in it. So just, give it that 35, or maybe take the lid off at 15 to go and just keep giving it a stir, reduce it down that way. So now that's ready, just gonna jar it up. So there we go, all done. Just got to jar it up now. So I said this is going to do about 500 ml, probably a little bit more. Gives you something to kind of play with afterwards. So I've sterilised all my jars. Bonus with this, doing it this way, is you can kind of keep them for, well, I don't really know how long exactly because I've never tested it. But it keeps for at least a year, I can tell you that. That shouldn't be a problem. You can probably keep it for 2 years if you want. I don't know why you'd want to. The idea is to eat it. So we're just going to pop all of these in here. Trying not to burn myself, which is something that happens fairly regularly. It might be helpful if I actually brought it closer. Don't burn. So there we go, all tightened up. Made just over 2 of those, which is great. Exactly what I was thinking. That's a nice 251. 2 of those would have filled perfectly. So always try and do yourself 1 extra, you know, if you're going to sterilise them, because if you've sterilised it, you've just washed it really, really well. So if you don't use it, it doesn't matter, just whack it straight in the cupboard. But if you've got a bit left over, always good to have 1, rather than just sitting there going, what do I do with this? So there we go. I would pick it up in my hands, but dangerous. That is my rhubarb and Bramley apple chutney. And that is going to be a cracker for Christmas, but it will work any time of the year. So like I said, that will keep easily for a year. You want to give it a few months for those flavours to develop. So doing it now, around about October, or a couple of months before. Any time before now, perfect for Christmas. So I hope you give that one a go. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.